Hi there, for the final version of this top I used fingering weight yarn because it gives a nice knit-like finish, but in this tutorial I'll be using a thicker yarn so you can see the stitches more clearly. Feel free to use any yarn you prefer. If you're a beginner, I suggest watching the steps and starting with the small practice swatch. That way you can get a feel for the stitch pattern before working on the full project. I'll walk you through a small swatch now to show you exactly how this stitch works. Chain 8. This will be our foundation chain and also the width of each color block. You can adjust the number of chains depending on the yarn you are using and the size you want. In my original project, I used fingering weight yarn and made 20 chains which measured about 2.5 inches. Now we are going to work into the second chain from the hook, but not into the front of the chain. We will be working into the back bump right here. So insert your hook into that back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. We are not finishing the stitch just yet. Now insert your hook into the next back bump, yarn over and pull up another loop. Repeat this process in each back bump all the way to the end of the foundation chain. Now you should have 8 loops on your hook, the same number as the chains you made at the beginning. Now yarn over and pull through just the first loop on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. Keep repeating yarn over, pull through 2 loops until you are left with just 1 loop on your hook. Now take a moment to look closely and find where you need to insert your hook for the next step. You will be inserting your hook between the 2 vertical bars of the stitch below, right here. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Repeat this all the way across the row to complete the forward pass. Now as you can see, I have 7 loops on my hook, but we need 8. That means we are missing the last one. The final stitch is right here at the edge. We need to insert our hook into this spot to pick up the last loop. For the return pass, yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops at a time and repeat that until only 1 loop remains on your hook. This stitch is called the Tunisian knit stitch. Now you repeat the same steps until you reach the desired height for your first color block. In my original project, I worked 21 rows to create a square shape. Here you can see again where we insert the hook for the forward pass. I suggest taking notes. Write down how many chains you made for your foundation chain and how many rows you worked to reach the height. You will want to repeat the same numbers for each color block to keep everything even. Also make sure that in every forward pass you end up with the same number of loops on your hook as the number of chains in your foundation chain. When you are working the last row of your first color block, do the return pass as usual but stop when you have 2 loops left on your hook. This time don't finish with the same yarn because we are about to change the color. So when you have those 2 loops on your hook, grab your second color yarn. Yarn over with the new color. Now just repeat the same steps with your new color. Keep going until you reach the same number of rows you did for the first color. Now you can cut the yarn from your previous color. We are done with that section. You can count your rows by looking at the edge. Just count these little vertical chains stacked along the side. Each one represents a row. Now I'm done with my rows in the second color. This is exactly what you will keep doing until you reach your desired top height. Once you finish with the second color, switch back to your first color and keep going. In my case, for my original project, I was aiming for about 7.5 inches in total height, so I made 3 color blocks to reach that. Since I'm just showing you a swatch of the pattern here, I'm going to stop at this point. Now let me show you how to work in the horizontal direction. Before you start working in the horizontal direction, you will need to close off your last row first. To do that, you need to make slip stitches along these vertical bars. Insert your hook into each vertical bar and make a slip stitch one by one across the row. Now chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now take your second color and attach it to the last chain of your foundation chain. Pull up a loop through that chain and make a chain 1. This chain doesn't count as a stitch. Now make a foundation chain again with the same number of chains you did before. I made 8 chains for this swatch, so I am chaining 8 again. Now all you have to do is repeat the same steps you did before. Now make sure you have the same number of loops on your hook. After you are done with the forward pass, take a moment to look closely at where you want to insert your hook next. You will see these vertical chains from our previous work. Each one represents a row. You need to insert your hook into that vertical chain and the small horizontal bar right behind it, both together. So insert your hook through the back loop of the chain and the back horizontal bar behind it. Then yarn over and pull up a loop. This time for the return pass, yarn over and pull through 2 loops at a time right from the beginning. If you remember, earlier we pulled through 1 loop first, but from here on you will pull through 2 loops straight away. So this is how you work in the horizontal direction. Now all you have to do is repeat the process until you have the same number of rows as before. But on the last row, stop the written pass when you have 2 loops left on your hook, because we are going to change back to the first color. Now you have to change the color just like you did before. Now don't attach your row to this first chain of the vertical chains. It's not considered as a stitch. If you remember, that was created when we changed the color and attached our yarn. So you will need to start working into the second vertical chain instead. Now go ahead by repeating the process, finish your last row and close it off just like you did before. Finish off by making one more slip stitch into the last stitch of the previous work. And then make a chain 1 and cut the yarn. So this is how the pattern works. I hope I explained it clearly. Now you can practice the stitch and then try it in your actual size. When you move into the real project, start by working in the vertical direction first until you reach the desired height of your top. After that, work in the horizontal direction, join in each row until you cover the entire front of your bust area, not the full chest circumference. So this is my finished front piece. Now we need to complete the rest of the top, the back part. Take any color you've been using and attach it to one of the side corners of the top. Then chain 2. This chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Into that same stitch, make a double crochet. Now continue making double crochets in each stitch along the edge until you reach the other corner of the top. Then chain 2 again and turn your work. Make another row of double crochet stitches. Now repeat the double crochet rows until it reaches the middle of your upper back. I made mine slightly tighter by reducing about 1 inch from the middle. When I say the middle of your upper back, I mean the double crochet section we are making now should go from the edge of your checkered pattern and reach to the middle of your upper back. You can figure this out using a simple formula like this. After you are done with one side, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now go ahead and work the other side using the second color you used for the top. Now after finishing both sides, you need to sew them together. You can use a darning needle or join them with slip stitches using your crochet hook. So turn your piece to the wrong side facing you. Align both sides together like this, making sure the edges line up evenly. Insert your hook through the very first stitches on both layers. Grab the yarn and make a chain 1 to join them. Then start slip stitching from the second stitch onward. After you're done, make a chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now there's only one step left. We are going to shear the edges. This is a super useful method to make the top fit better to your body when you wear it. For this we'll need some elastic thread like this one. When your top is with the wrong side facing you, we will work along these little back bars. We will slip stitch with small gaps between each stitch to create the shirring effect. Also make sure to start the shirring a little bit inward from the edge and work it in a straight line. So first attach the elastic thread by making a chain 1 and then start slip stitching. Make sure to leave a small gap between each slip stitch as you go. Now work the other edge the same way. After you're done weaving your ends and your final top should look like this. That's the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again.